Thank you so much for joining me here on Anchored Hope Company's YouTube channel. I'm Danetta, and it is Start Week here at Anchored Hope Company. For day one of Start Week, we talked about identifying what that thing is or what those things are that we needed to start. And so today, I want to encourage you and give you a few tips on how to start that thing. And I know there is such a variety of things for each of us that we need to start. And so these tips are going to be very general, but they can be applied across the boards. And so the first tip is to use what you have and do what you can. Very popular saying, and I agree with it 100%. In order to start, you got to use what you've got and make the most of it. That does not mean you should not aspire to have more. That does not mean that you don't have a list of items that you want to get that will help you to improve your craft. That doesn't mean that you stop studying or that you stop consulting with people and getting advice and maybe working with a cohort or working with a creative group in order to manifest that thing that you have in your heart. But I often find that we feel we need a lot more than we actually need to get started. And because sometimes we think that way, it stops us from actually doing that thing. We get caught up in analysis paralysis. I know that is something that has gotten me tangled up many times in the past. But the more I've been able to step past the analysis and just do what's in my heart to do and be willing to make mistakes, be willing to grow, be willing to look crazy, but at the same time, be willing to be confident and buy in myself, being able to be confident in starting with what I have and where I am. A really good example for that is that a lot of people are getting into shooting video, just like what I'm doing here. But what I found is that people will say, well, I don't want it to look any kind of way. I want it to look great. And so I want to have all of the best high-tech, most expensive tools. And then what happens is either it just never happens, or we buy all this high-tech stuff and don't know how to use it, or we figure out how to use it, but wait, now that I have the equipment and I know how to use it, I actually have to get out there and film myself and not worry about people thinking I look crazy. Don't allow what you don't have to cause you to procrastinate. You don't know everything about anything, but you know something about that thing that you want to do. And so use that and get started. Another important aspect is to make a plan, set goals. And don't just set goals, because sometimes we set goals, but then it's like, okay, so what do I need to do now in order to accomplish these goals? As you're setting goals, also make sure you are planning and writing out strategies that you can use. And with that plan, I encourage you to be committed to it, but to hold it very loosely and be ready to pivot. Be ready to make a change if you have done something consistently and with fidelity and it is not working. But don't just start without a plan. Start with a plan, start with goals, start with strategies to accomplish those goals, set deadlines, and hold that plan with confidence, but hold it loosely and be ready to make changes when you see that adjustments need to be made. Now, here's a very important aspect to how you start. Solicit support. Whatever that thing is that you have in you to do, solicit support. For some people, that may mean reaching out to other people who have knowledge regarding that thing that you want to do. Not necessarily to wait on their okay or to wait until you know as much as they know, but just to let someone know, this is what I want to do, and you're someone that I believe can hold me accountable along the way because you've been this way before. Or maybe solicit support from someone who may not know about that thing that you want to do, but they know you. They know you enough to be able to say to you, I hadn't heard you say anything about that thing in a while. What's going on with that? Maybe you're doing something that has never been done before. I know for myself that sometimes it can be a little discouraging because you feel like, well, I need a mentor. Who's going to be my mentor when it comes to this? But maybe you're doing something that no one else has ever done, or maybe you're doing something in a way that no one else has ever done it. Soliciting support could be hiring a coach, hiring a counselor, a consultant. Soliciting support could be gathering a personal board of people who you check in with on a regularly scheduled basis so that you can get feedback and continue to make progress along the way. One way you may solicit support could be you have a group of people who pray with you and for you on a regular basis that you can confess to, that you can say, I'm not doing very well. I don't want to do this. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. This happened. One of the challenges you might find that you may have with soliciting support is your ability to be transparent. But there's a certain level of transparency that we must reach in order for our support to really support us. One of the most important aspects in how to start is to solicit support. All right, thank you so much for joining me today for day 2 of Start Week. I hope that it has been an encouragement to you. If it has been, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you have not already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap that notifications bell so that you will be notified every time we release a new video. Anchored Hope Company's mission is to evoke, empower, and encourage you along the way. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I will look forward to seeing you next time.